Welcome to Dorkduo. We're the Dorks. I'm Adam, and this is Steve. And this week we are talking Matrix, Venom, and other nerdly news. But first, I should stop saying "but first." First, we're going to be talking about the Matrix. So, there was going to be a Matrix reboot. And they had announced, or no, it wasn't an announcement. It was leaked. There was a report that there was going to be a Matrix reboot. And then after the incredibly negative reactions of everybody everywhere, the writer of this movie, the screenwriter, came forward and was just like, "Don't worry, everybody. It's not going to be a reboot. It's going to be a sequel." And then later he said, "Actually, it might be a prequel."
It doesn't bode well for your movie when you have the option to bounce back and forth between sequel and prequel, because he's clearly not much past the first page.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, like, he must be in just, like, the conception stage at this point.
I think he got as far as saying, "I want to make a movie about the Matrix," and then just knocked off for lunch.
Okay, but, like, have you seen... I'm assuming you've seen the Matrix movies, like, all
yes.
of them?
Okay. Yeah, all three. There's three, right?
There's three, yeah.
Okay, then yes, I'm up to date.
Okay, well, it's actually, technically, there is, like, an animated movie, too, but doesn't really count.
I didn't see that one.
It doesn't really count, but, the first one was pretty good.
Yeah.
And the other two kind of suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, personally, I'm not like, "Oh, yeah, give me more Matrix." Like, yes.
I don't think anybody outside of, like, people desperately trapped in the 1990s would ever have considered making more Matrix movies.
Yeah, I am just so not interested. Like, I just don't care. I don't care at all. I don't need it.
I think what happened was, there's a janitor, right? And he cleans up around the giant computers that produce movies nowadays. And he bumped into one, and that's where this idea came from. And then he sorted out the punch cards and blew the dust off, and they were like, "Oh, wait, never mind, that was a stupid idea." But being the cold, motionless robot processing machines that they are, still wanted to make a movie about something people liked from before.
I'm looking at our topics right now. We're gonna get to all of them, but I feel like the theme of this episode is "this is a bad idea." Just universally, like the whole way through, it's just bad idea after bad idea. Like starting with a Matrix reboot, not a reboot, a sequel.
Reboot,
not a
sequel, prequel, cinematic
prequel.
Universe.
Oh God! Don't even say that. Don't say. They will hear you, Steve. We don't need a Matrix cinematic universe. Okay.
Don't you want to know about all the deep personal conflicts between Neo and what was the girl's name?
Mr. Smith.
Okay, I was gonna say what the girl's. Okay, Mr. Smith. I think Mr. Smith
Trinity,
is dead though.
Trinity.
Thank
was
you.
The girl's
Trinity.
name.
Yes. And
Yeah.
Morpheus, and that's literally everybody's name I remember.
Yeah, I can't. I couldn't tell you anybody else.
But there is no spoon, Adam.
Thank you, Steve. Yep, there is no spoon. Got it. Thank you very much. Okay, do you have anything else to say about this? Because
it's stupid. Don't make it.
It's stupid. I don't want it. I don't want a
Nobody
reboot.
does.
I don't
Apparently.
want a sequel. The most I'll accept is a comic book because then I don't have to read it. That way fans can get more, but non-fans like me can just sit back and continue not having that.
Not having it exist in your realm of reality. I'm actually
Precisely.
like 100% genuinely curious if there are any like diehard Matrix fans out there wearing their leather trench coats everywhere going like, "Please God, yes, I need a fourth one."
I
I
bet there is.
Any?
I mean, okay, the first movie especially has some diehard fans.
There's
the
some
first
cult
movie,
following for everything, but
yeah.
I can't think of anybody I know who didn't think past the first movie was just an awkward mess. Like, some people like the first one, that's cool, the first one was alright, but after 2 and 3 were kind of just awkward, weird, pseudo bullshit, and I don't know
I don't know. I've seen some people online who treat the first one like it was made by Jesus himself. Like I've seen people who are genuinely under the impression that the first Matrix movie is one of the best movies ever made, which I think is a gross overstatement. I don't agree with that at all.
I treat Matrix like I treat Scarface. For some reason, it's a classic, but I can't explain why.
I haven't even seen Scarface. I mean, I like The Matrix. I thought it was cool when I was like 8.
Yeah, exactly.
like, and, looking back on it now, it's kind of dumb. But like, I don't know. It just is not something I need more of in any way. Let's just move on.
Okay.
Move on with the.
Sorry if you're a fan of The Matrix.
We're gonna get this bad idea train flowing. So Warner Brothers, that should already have you. That should already have you immediately being like, "Oh God, here we go." But Warner Brothers is looking to fast track one of their DC extended universe movies, specifically The Flash, Dark Universe, Suicide Squad 2, Gotham City Sirens, or Green Lantern Corps, to release in 2018, which is obviously next year.
Please don't make a Green Lantern Corps. Please.
Yeah,
for the love of God, don't make a Green Lantern Corps. I'm really tired of trying to defend the Green Lantern movie.
Oh, I don't even try to.
But I feel like I owe it to I owe it to Hal to he's better than that movie is, and I hate having to tell people that he doesn't suck as the character. Just the movie sucks. Sorry, I interrupted you. It's just really impersonal to me.
Anyway, no, it's fine. So yeah, after the Batman, which has officially been delayed, they had been hoping to release that in 2018, but now that Matt Reeves has signed on, and they're doing like a page one rewrite of the whole thing. They've just decided that, you know what, like we need at least an extra year for this. So they're not doing Batman, and also Aquaman was delayed a couple of months. It was supposed to come out in like October or November of 2018. Now it's coming out in December of 2018. Thank God there isn't a Star Wars movie coming out that year. I mean, okay, well there is, but it's coming out in like May, and that's the Han Solo movie. And honestly, if Disney decided that they were gonna have the Han Solo movie release in December, and like Aquaman versus Han Solo, I feel like that's a somewhat even thing. I mean, I don't think anybody is like, yes, Han Solo movie.
No, I would go see both of them out of contractual obligation.
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter to me, but.
Honestly, and I'm saying this like with like straight faced, I'm more interested in the Aquaman movie.
Me too. Oh, me too.
I am the biggest Star Wars nerd ever. Well, that's not true, but I am a very large Star Wars nerd, and I have so very little interest in the Han Solo movie. Like, I'm just like, whatever. I'm gonna see it. Of course I'm gonna see it, but I'm not like, sitting here biting my nails like, oh
morbid
my God,
curiosity.
I can't wait. Like, I'm just kind of, it's not even morbid curiosity. It's more of just like obligation. Like I need to know what happens in it.
It's stupid, but I have to know.
I'm not gonna miss it. So anyway, Warner Brothers fast tracking any of these movies. The only one that I think they might maybe be able to do would be actually Gotham City Sirens, because they already have a director for that, and it seems like they already have a rough storyline picked out, because the director, David Ayer, he's the same guy who directed Suicide Squad.
Joy.
Yeah, I know. But he's already teased that Black Mask is going to be the villain.
All right.
So it seems like
that
they have.
That could be interesting, I guess. I'm sure
agree.
The guy who did the Red Skull body paint is still around. I'm sure you could just get him.
Well, no, the whole point of Black Mask is that it's like literally a mask. Like, it's not skin.
I understand, but it looks like a skin. So you could definitely, looks like Red Skull but black. You could definitely get that guy to do the costume.
Yeah, you could. Anyway, but I feel like the Gotham City Sirens one is the only one you could really do and have it work.
Well,
but
okay, here's where this triple intersection of danger comes into play, because it has to be good, right? Because actually, at this point, they've had such a bad track record that they have to get a good one out for the love of God, but they also can't risk having a crappy one again, so they can't hurry, but they have to hurry because they might risk this superhero movie bubble popping, and they're going to miss all their chances to rake in some of that sweet, sweet Marvel money.
Yep. Yeah,
so it Warner sucks Brothers, to be DC right now.
Yeah, your Warner Brothers is in a really tight spot. Like, I do not envy them. It seems like they're damned no matter which direction they go.
Oh, they are.
Like, do we wait? Do we, just let these do we try to make the best possible movie but have no one give a shit by the time it finally comes out? Or do we try to fast track it a bit but then have the risk having another flop? I mean, technically none of these have flopped yet. The closest one that they had to flopping was Batman v Superman, but that still made like 800 million in the box office.
Yeah.
It wasn't a flop.
Who cares if your movies review poorly as long as they sell tickets?
It's just like with Batman v Superman, it could have been so much more, like money wise and critically, but money is what they care about. That's the only language they speak.
Yeah.
And Suicide Squad, on the other hand, critically was fucking panned across the board, but financially did really, really well. Like, it made like 700 million, which is super good for, fucking Suicide Squad, which no one gave a shit about.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so, they haven't... So they're not too bad off, but I don't envy their situation of having to really quickly try to fast track one of these movies when I just don't think it's going to work well. I think that they should just cut their losses and just say, all right, well, we're just going to have Aquaman that year. Like, that's it. Nope.
That's what they should do. I think I agree with you. They really should take the slow and methodical approach, because if you're going to do this, you might as well get a really good one out of it, where but they're taking the scattergun, brick on the accelerator approach, and that's their call, I guess, but you do run the serious risk of just continuously vomiting up terrible movies.
See,
and
I can't help but compare it to the other franchise that's trying to start their own cinematic universe right now, besides Marvel, because Marvel's already completely going. I'm talking about the Monsterverse, the whole King Kong Godzilla thing. They're taking the right approach. Like, they waited 3 years before they released another movie, and they got it right. Like, they took their time, they spent their money, and they made a pretty solid movie that's making money. Like, they're taking their time with it. They're letting their franchise grow, and it's in an organic, natural, good way, instead of just trying to just
screw that noise. Put a bunch of superheroes in a blunderbuss and fire it at the screen.
Which is the approach that Warner Brothers took with Batman v Superman.
Yes.
just cram as much shit as you can in a shotgun and just fire it. Yep, exactly. Fuck that. Okay. So unless you have anything else to say about this,
it's sad. I'm sad for them.
I feel bad for them, but I really do think that the best thing they can do right now is to just say, nope, we are going to just do Aquaman. And people will be like, oh, what? Seriously? Only one movie that year? And they're going to be like, yeah, only one movie that year, but it's going to be a good one. And then everyone, like that's what they should do. That's what they should be like, no, we're going to make every movie as good as it can be. That's what they should do. They probably won't do that. They probably won't.
But we don't live in a world of fantasy, Adam, so.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Unfortunately.
None of these movies should be fast-tracked. None of them.
No, they shouldn't. None of them should.
The Flash has already lost 2 directors and is being completely rewritten. I can't speak today. Dark Universe has been gestating for years, and that's probably never gonna even fucking happen. Suicide Squad 2, we don't even know they don't have a director for that yet. They don't have a script for that yet.
You know what? Okay, here's my solution. If you have to fast track a movie, make it Suicide Squad 2, because I don't care about Suicide Squad 2. If I need a turd, just make it a turd I don't have to bother with. I mean, I solved your problem for you.
Gotham City Sirens, they apparently have a storyline, and and they have a director, and they have a cast, or at least
good. So do something with those potentially interesting characters. The Suicide Squad people are already not interesting. Just ship them out to the pasture, let them be slaughtered first, so the rest of the calves can make it through.
I agree. And then there's Green Lantern Corps, and you don't
mess up the Green Lantern movie.
Don't fuck it up, man. I swear to God. Like, can you just get anything right? Like, just take your time and make sure it's good. Like, especially with Green Lantern Corps. You can fuck up Suicide Squad or Gotham City Sirens or even Dark Universe. No one cares. But you can't fuck up the Flash, and you can't fuck up Green Lantern. You can't do it. Those are the ones that matter. Like, no.
Those are the Justice League ones. You can't fuck those up. At all. Exactly. If you have to build those on top of the other ones, rotting corpses, you do that, as long as you get those ones right.
Yeah.
God, okay. I don't even care. At this point, I don't even care what Green Lantern they use. I'm pretty sure we already know it's going to be Hal, right?
Actually,
or is John Stewart? Sorry, John Stewart.
The rumors are actually it's going to be both. It's going to be a buddy. They're trying to go for almost like a buddy cop movie feel and have both of them.
Interesting. I don't mind that either. If they wanted to pick Guy Gardner at this point, I'd be okay with that. I don't even like Guy Gardner.
Think about it, though. The movie is called Green Lantern Corps. It's about a team. It's about many more than one people,
yeah, I guess, but There's supposed to be 7,200 Green Lanterns.
I'm not saying they could get all of them. I'm just saying they should just
Excellent.
get the.
We can finally get Chip. I always wanted to see a movie about Chip.
They shouldn't do all of the Green Lanterns ever. They should try to focus on the human ones, like the ones for
Well,
Earth.
I mean, there's only been like 8 or 9 of those.
Exactly. And only a few of them that actually matter. Like it's what, Hal, John Stewart, I guess
Kyle,
Guy Gardner,
Kyle and Guy.
And then there's like the two
new ones from New 52. I don't know the names of.
There's 2 new ones who I don't give a shit about.
And Jade.
I read some of their stuff. I wasn't impressed. I actually read DC Rebirth when it first started, and I stopped because I got bored.
Fair enough. So really the crux of the issue here is throw something else to the wolves so you don't have to ruin Green Lantern or Flash, and if you can avoid it, don't throw anything to the wolves.
Yep, I
there
agree.
You go.
Okay.
You're welcome, Warner Brothers.
Speaking of other bad ideas of movies that shouldn't be made, well, actually, whatever. Venom.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, Venom. So we've talked about this before, but I just want to reiterate this for everybody, including you and me, and yeah. So Sony is making a Venom movie. That's Venom from the Spider-Man universe, the symbiotic,
that guy
blah, blah,
that
blah.
could have been cool from the 3rd movie, but was not cool because he was Eric from That 70s Show.
That guy, yeah, exactly. So Venom is getting a standalone movie, and it is officially going to be coming out in October of 2018. It's like a year and a half away. And it is not going to be in the Tom Holland MCU Spider-Man universe. It's going to be in its own universe. It is a separate franchise that is completely and utterly isolated from any other Spider-Man movies we've ever had, which is such a horrendously awful idea. I can't even fucking do this right now. I swear to God.
I don't understand. What could I don't. Okay, I'm stumbling over my words because I'm like that flabbergasted. At what point do you think to yourself, okay, we've rebooted this franchise twice now. Let's make a new one, but not link it to the other ones, and not even about yeah, okay, all right, okay. People like Venom, right? I think we can all agree about that. Venom's cool. Everybody likes Eddie.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I like it.
Awesome.
I like Venom.
Okay,
yeah.
But people also like Green Goblin. But you wouldn't make a Green Goblin movie.
No, you wouldn't. No, you shouldn't.
What is the thought process here?
Did
they just take a poll and ask some 12-year-olds who their favorite villain was, and then say, "Great, make that"?
Okay, here's the only thing I can think of as to how this might have happened. The only way that it would make sense in my brain. So they decided that they're going to reboot their whole little universe thing, and they shook hands with Marvel, and they said, okay, we're going to give you Spider-Man, and you get to, we'll reboot it with you, and it'll be a part of the MCU. And then but remember, Sony is a bunch of greedy bastards, and they're thinking to themselves, okay, yeah, we'll give Marvel Spider-Man back, but we're going to piggyback off of their success, and we're going to make our own movies. We're going to make our own movies, and they're going to, in the Spider-Man universe, we're going to make a Venom movie, and we're going to make other stuff too, and it's going to be fun. And then they start working on it. They start working on a script. They're spending money on this idea. They're working on a script. They're potentially looking at directors, yada, 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 yada. But then Marvel hears about this, and they come over, shaking their heads, and they're like, no, you don't get to do that. If you want to do some shit like that, it's going to have to be separate from our universe, because we have no creative control over whatever the fuck you're doing right now, and we need creative control. We have the mouse to back us up. So you can't fucking do that, Sony. No. But then at that point, Sony had already spent money on it, so they're just like, okay, fine, we're just gonna make it its own separate franchise. Oh God, that's the only way that it can make sense to me.
I was playing that out in my brain, and I 100% believe that is how that happened.
Yep,
like word for word, probably.
Like, that's the only way That's the only way that it could make sense. Otherwise, if it began as an idea of let's make a Venom movie completely separate from the Spider-Man franchise, then like you guys don't even deserve to be a movie studio, okay? Like
Yeah,
that's
seriously.
such a bad
Like
idea.
I think you're right. The only not acceptable, but the only logical course of action would be that after they already blew some money into it, and then Marvel said, "Wait, never mind, you can't do that because you can't be trusted." They'll
Yeah,
be like, "Okay,
yeah.
well, screw you. We'll make our own thing then."
Yeah.
Because thinking to yourself, "I want to make a reboot of a franchise everyone's tired." It hasn't even gotten it's barely hit puberty, and they already want to kill it and start over.
It's
And
not
then they,
even puberty. This is like fucking like, it's like a couple years old at even like
yeah, they
it's
want a post-term
this Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, like this Spider-Man is like we've gotten one movie with him and we're about to get one more. Like, wow, yeah, that's amazing. Like, are you kidding me? Like that's nothing. That's not a franchise.
Well, more
That's
than 10 minutes have passed, so it's time to reboot Spider-Man again.
yeah, I guess. I
I can't wrap my noggin around who made this decision. Like, do you think somebody stood up and said, "I've got a great idea," and everybody just slow clapped after they heard it, or do you think it was more of like a desperation thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be a desperation thing because Sony hasn't been doing well, and like maybe they're just like trying to, be like, okay, what rights do we have? People like
Oh, okay,
Venom.
that also could be the thing. They dusted off the big book of properties they own, and they just said, "Okay, we haven't done something with this in a while."
Yeah, like that's the only thing. I don't know. I don't fucking know, Steve. All what I do know is it's fucking dumb. That's what I know. And do you know what this means? This means that like there's pretty much no way that Venom is ever going to make it into the MCU. There's no way
Probably
that
not.
Sony would give them permission to do Venom while they're also making a separate Venom franchise.
Oh yeah.
Like there's no way. That'd be too confusing. Like even by their standards. like like they're so great. Now we're fucked out of an awesome potential Venom thing in
Oh,
the
it's cool.
MCU.
They'll just put anti-Venom in the MCU instead,
God, or Carnage.
or
That'd be
Carnage.
cool,
They could probably get away with Carnage,
yeah, they probably
or
could.
any of the other symbiotes that are
I'm
out there
so
floating
mad.
around.
I'm so mad about this. All right, so I don't have anything else to say about it. It's fucking stupid, and I want them to cancel this movie right fucking now. Like don't wait, don't spend any more money on it. Cut your losses, or somehow.
Oh, here's a
like,
good idea actually. Sell the property back to Marvel and recoup some of that dosh. And there you
yeah,
go.
there you go. That would work. Yeah,
That's
sure.
then you
Why
come
not?
out in the black and it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just it's a stupid idea, and you should stop it, Sony. Stop it. Okay.
Squirt them with a water bottle. Bad Sony.
Oh god, I just started doing like the water bottle squirting thing, and my cat like lost her shit. Okay, so Ridley Scott, that's the guy who directed the original Alien movie, but also Prometheus and the Alien Covenant, which is coming out this summer, which I'm actually kind of excited for. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, Ridley Scott says that he wants 4 more Alien movies.
Let me
starting...
stop you right there.
okay,
Stop you
okay.
right there. I'm gonna go ahead and just address Ridley Scott now. Ridley, hey buddy, it's me, it's your pal Steve. So I don't know if you got the memo. Anything after Aliens 1 is generally considered to be not good.
That's not true. Aliens, the second one is considered to be very
Excuse me,
good.
Adam. I'm talking to Ridley Scott right now.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Sorry for the interruption. I know he means well, though. It's fine. Anyway, all right. So the first one, it's a good movie. I think we're all in agreement. Alien 1 was a good movie. As you go along, kind of drops in value, and you've got your name tied to some bad video games now. It's just not a good time to be an Aliens fan right now, right? It's almost as bad as being a Sonic fan. Anyway, I don't know. First of all, the balls on you to tell me that you're going to make 4 more movies of any kind. That's a serious sack, hombre. But just the fact that you think the world needs more aliens when, in fact, the first and only Aliens movie we required was sufficient for a xenomorphs, that's the balls on you, man. Sorry, Adam, you were saying something about something?
Okay, fine. Okay, the thing that bothers me about this... Oh, wait, I should probably finish what he was saying about it. So, he wants to make 4 more Alien movies, starting with Alien Awakening, which would be set between Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
Sorry, I'm just going to talk to Ridley Scott one more time.
Okay.
Ridley, buddy, me again. Steve. Yeah, from the phone. For the record, if you use the word awakening, it's just using the word Genesis in your title, but not using the word Genesis. So you cheated, but everybody knows. Okay, thanks. All right, sorry, go on. It's almost as bad as Revelations.
Almost. Okay, so that scene. First of all, uh, the idea of making a prequel set between Prometheus and Alien Covenant is a really bad idea. That's a really
Which one was Alien Covenant again?
It hasn't come out yet. It's coming out this summer.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, but Alien Covenant looks really good, and Prometheus I haven't actually seen, but I've heard it's okay. It has some issues, but apparently it's okay.
I've only seen the first Alien movie all the way through, and I've seen a couple of them in random spattered patterns, but for the life of me, I don't think
save you time.
Okay.
The first Alien movie is really good.
Yeah, I remember that one.
The second one, Aliens, is really good.
Oh, okay.
There is no other Alien movie.
Oh, okay, great.
That's it. That's all you need to worry about. Oh, and Alien Isolation, the video game, is really good. Those are the only Alien movies you need to worry. Alien
related things
that you need to worry about. That's it. That is the total Alien package.
Let me recount for you all the memories I have of the Aliens franchise outside of the first movie. I remember there being some aliens in a cell chattering at each other, and one kills the other one, and it melts the floor, and they escape. I remember something about a dude in a wheelchair who makes a gun out of his chair.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea. I've seen all the Alien movies, and I have no idea what you're
remember something about. There was a predator in one of them.
Okay, yeah, there was that.
That's literally it. That's all I remember from the franchise. Outside the first movie, that's all I remember.
Literally, just don't look any further, okay?
Okay. Don't open that case. Don't look under that rock. Just
yeah. Okay. And so he wants to make 4 more Alien movies. That's an interesting idea. Here's the thing, though. I just looked it up. He's 79 years old. I'm sorry, bro, but there ain't no way you're gonna get 4 more movies out of you. It's just not gonna happen. You're gonna make maybe 2 more, maybe, if you're lucky. At most, you'd be able to maybe be in the writer's room for all of these things.
Wow.
But I'm sorry, but directing is difficult and it's stressful and it takes a lot out of you. And at 79 years old, I'm impressed that you're even making a movie at all right now. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but you're not gonna be around for all of these movies. And I don't know if I'm okay with that, because you are the Alien guy. You made the first one, which is the best one in my opinion, and I think you had at least a hand in the script of the second one, which was also really good, and everything after that was fucking shit. And you know why it was fucking shit? Because you weren't involved, bro. I have a lot of respect for you. I do. But you shouldn't give permission to whatever company this is, Paramount? I don't know. Don't give permission to these guys to make any more Alien movies without you. They're gonna fuck it up. They fucked up everything.
This kind of brings to mind Game of Thrones and what people are gonna do if Martin doesn't make it to the end of his written series.
Shut the fuck up. No, we don't talk about that, Steve. We don't fucking talk. No.
Hey, I'd be just as disappointed as you is. I want a conclusion to the story.
Oh, you're gonna get a conclusion to the story, Steve, because the show is gonna finish no matter what. Okay, you wanna fucking have this conversation? Fine, let's have this.
No, not really. I really don't. You sound really heated. Maybe you need a minute. Maybe you need a minute.
Is gonna finish no matter what, because
I know he told the nice men how it's supposed to end. I remember.
He told them how it's supposed to end. So the show is gonna finish.
Steam out your nipples. It's cool.
The show is gonna finish, Steve, but there ain't no fucking way he's gonna make it to the end of the books. And at this point, the show has taken a serious diversion from where the books are. They've omitted characters. They've done all kinds of shit that they shouldn't have been doing. So that means that I'm never gonna get an ending to the story of the books. I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna get the ending to the show, and that's gonna give me a vague idea of how the books were gonna end. But I'm not gonna get an ending, Steve, because he's probably gonna die. He's probably gonna release one more book. There's probably going to be one more book, and that's going to be the end. And he said before that he doesn't want anyone finishing the series if he dies. So that means it's going to be over, Steve. Okay, I've had long, long thoughts about this. Okay, and if he does die,
I see that you staying awake at night, looking up at the ceiling, and your poster of George R.R. Martin.
There you go.
I was mixing him and Tolkien's initials together because they both got R's in them. Whatever. I'm sorry about that, Adam. I feel for you, and the fact that this personally affects you on a human, intimate level.
It really, Steve, he's probably going to die before he finishes the series. On my deathbed, that's going to be my biggest regret in life.
What, he died?
That he died, and I didn't get to read the last book, Steve. That's what's going to happen.
Tell you what, maybe they can do what Tolkien's wife did when he died and just release a book made of his scribbles, and then you can try to piece together a story out of that. Like they did.
I would read it. So...
Well, there you go. Well, that was a quick, a bit of a detour from Aliens.
Yeah, it was. So what were we talking about?
There's going to be 4 movies, and he's not going to make it all
4 movies. He's not going to make it to the end of them. I just think the idea of making an Awakening movie is fucking dumb. Like, why don't you just, continue whatever you're going to be doing in Alien Covenant? Why don't you, keep the story going instead of just doing more backtracking?
Why don't you just do what everyone else is doing and make a cinematic universe and then do a crossover with the Transformers like everyone's asking for?
Steve, why do you hurt me?
I saw the preview for the newest Transformers movie when I was in the theater yesterday.
Oh,
it was something else. Spoiler alert! I think Optimus Prime dies again. I think.
I think he's evil. Isn't he evil?
Well, okay, he was floating around in space in the prequel, so I think he was supposed to have been dead. But yeah, I think he is evil in this one because he was fighting Bumblebee in the trailer.
Oh, no.
I know. Care. If I gave a single solitary shit about the Transformers movies anymore, that might have been upsetting.
Dude, I still haven't seen the 4th one.
How many are there now?
There's 4.
Is there a dinosaur one? That's the 4th one, right?
That's the 4th one, yeah. I haven't seen that one.
Which one has the evil Prime in it?
That's the 2nd one.
Okay. What was the 3rd one about?
Something about the moon. The moon was like a place where there was a bunch of old Transformers, and they all came down and fucked shit up. It was called Dark Side of the Moon. So
I don't recall that one.
It doesn't matter, man.
The first one was all right. It was cute in its own way.
The first one was okay. I accept the first one. Anything after that is fucking awful. So
totally performance saved by Shia LaBeouf, though.
Anyway, that's actually it for our news. We kind of barreled through that, which is kind of fun. So cool.
Yeah, that was really
fast. We're gonna do humble opinions now. So, and you said you wanted to go first earlier, so I'll let you go first. Sure.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Well, yesterday, as I mentioned, I was in the theater, and this is where I saw my Transformers trailer, among other things. But the movie I went and filled my eyes with was the live-action interpretation of Disney's Beauty and the Beast. And the Beast. Not a Beast. Whatever.
Yeah, okay. Continue, Steve.
Anyway, and in my humble opinion, good enough? Does that make sense?
Sure. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
This is your humble opinion, bro.
I don't have to explain it much, because if you've seen the cartoon, you've basically seen the live-action one. They changed a couple things, and this one's a little bit darker, because, spoiler alert, you get to see all the appliances die at the end of the movie.
At the what?
At the end of the movie, everybody dies.
Excuse me? How did they die?
Yeah, right before they all get magicked back to life.
Oh, that's kind of fucked up. That's a little bit uncomfortable there. So wait, they all just turn into the appliances and they're no longer
permanently, and they're not human anymore. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Because the last rose petal falls in this one. Yes. Okay. They changed a couple things, like they gave you a little more backstory about Belle's parents. Like, a tiny bit more to know why she's in this tiny town. And they had a piece of throwaway dialogue that I didn't realize that I cared about until it was mentioned. They said when the witch turned them all into pots and pans and shit, she removed the memories of them from all of their friends and family.
That makes
And
sense.
yeah, that's something I had never even considered.
Yeah.
It never even occurred to me that Mrs. Potts might have a husband or something to go with that child that she has.
Uncle Cogsworth, why are you a clock?
But apparently she zapped the memories away, and the memories returned to all those people once they were unapplianceified. But that was a plot hole addressed right away, so it didn't matter so
I
much.
actually really like that. That makes a lot of sense. That's good. That's good. I like that.
Bonus note: the Beast in his human form is not nearly as terrifying as he is in the cartoon version.
It's funny. I recently watched the cartoon again, and yeah, he's really fucking ugly.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. They clearly didn't put a lot of time into drawing that one.
No, they did not. Oh man. Ooh.
Just like the cartoon one, Beast is the best part. He kind of looks like Krampus now. He's got like goat legs.
That's a little weird.
I mean, they're not actually like hooved. They just kind of. I mean, he looks like a more
Beast.
realistic version of the cartoon version. But,
Yeah.
his muscle structure doesn't fluctuate between scenes or anything. He's, just
Right.
a particularly tall, buff, hairy person with horns. Which, weirdly, don't get in the way a lot. You think they would, because there's a couple scenes of him laying on a bed, and I was waiting for them to get caught in a pillow or something, but they never did. So, fortunately, they didn't account for that when they had that guy Modecap in the bed there, but, whatever.
That's good. Yeah. Okay.
Emma Watson's in it, and she can do no wrong in my eyes, so that was fine.
Well, did she sing well? Like I haven't
Yeah.
ever heard her singing, so.
Yes, she did fine. One of my main complaints is about Gaston. His voice wasn't low enough.
See,
He looks just like Gaston, but his voice
See-
wasn't low enough.
You want to know I've seen trailers for the movie, and I do plan on seeing it sometime. But my complaint about Gaston is he's not a brick shithouse. Like he's supposed to
Well,
be.
no human being looked like that.
I know, but you could at least get someone who's like really buff. Like I'm thinking like the guy who plays Superman, whatever his name is, Henry Cavill. Like the guy is like
That also would have been a good choice.
would be great. I think.
Maybe
I
he
don't
can't
know
sing.
how good of a singer he is. Yeah, but like. I mean, he's a pretty good actor, and he's built like a fucking truck, so I think that would work. And that's just like something, that's just my first thought. I mean, I'm sure you could find someone else who's beefy as fuck and is also a good singer.
Well, everybody was a pretty good singer, so it was all right. There was one song that apparently was not in the movie. The Beast had an additional song.
Oh,
But,
okay.
I mean, that's that. I wasn't really there for that. After I heard Be Our Guest and
Tales all this time.
The what?
Tales all
yeah,
this
that
time.
one.
Yeah.
That one's perfectly fine. Mrs. Potts does a great job of being Mrs. Potts.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah, I figured.
it's good stuff.
Did you know
Beast
that
is
the
still
guy?
the best part.
Oh, good. Did you know that the guy they got to play the Candle was
Lumiere.
Yeah, Lumiere. He's Ewan McGregor, which is Obi-Wan from the Star Wars prequels.
Oh,
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that part. He just turned human at the end. I didn't notice, I guess. What I'm more confused about is why Hermione or Gandalf didn't break the spell on Beast themselves.
There's Gandalf in this movie?
Yeah, he's Cogsworth.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Shit, really? I didn't know that.
But they didn't break the
Fuck.
spell using magic like they should have. They would have saved us a lot of movie. But then
Now
Beast
I'm
wouldn't
just
have
like
learned his lesson.
imagining Cogsworth, like, Belle's trying to leave the castle, and and it's just like, I'm sorry, Cogsworth, I have to leave, and he's just like, you shall not pass. like that's all I can think of now.
There's even more jokes about how a clock is never late. He arrives when he means to because he's a clock.
Wait, they said
Hardy,
that?
hardy, hardy. No, they didn't say that, but they missed an opportunity to say that.
Yeah,
they really should have.
Good too. Yeah, that would have been great. Ah, shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So,
do you have-
well,
do you
okay.
have any
One
thoughts
one
on
thing
it?
sort of about the movie that pisses me off, but it's just people that ruin everything for everyone else. Is people are upset at this movie because it like perpetuates like women getting into bad relationships or something, and it's like
Yeah,
I'm sitting there putting my hand on my forehead with eyes wide, like you guys know this movie's like 1,000,000 years old, right? Like that. This is not a new issue. I would be more concerned about the Stockholm syndrome or the bestiality than I would about that. But we can't have nice things anymore. So
See, I feel like I this isn't very social justice warrior of me, but I feel like if you're doing an adaptation of a story that has that is a bit
that you should
dated in
keep
that
true to the
regard,
story
you
regardless
should, yeah,
of modern
you should just
themes.
be true to the story.
Yeah, that's
you
called
should-
artistic vision, Adam. We're not allowed to have that anymore.
Yeah, like I hope no one hates me for that. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I feel like that's the story. And it's a good story for what it is. And yeah, by modern standards, there are some things about it that, we might, scratch our head at and say, "Ooh, I don't really like that. Like that seems kind of inappropriate." But it is the story. Like you're doing an adaptation of the classic story. You shouldn't change it because of today's political values. Sorry. I hope I don't get in trouble for that.
So yeah, that was I thought it was perfectly fine.
Okay.
Go see it if you want. I think it still holds the record for best live action interpretation of an animated Disney movie thus far.
All right.
And that doesn't sound like a high accolade, except live action
really.
Tarzan came out a little while ago, and that was horseshit. So this is where we stand.
Okay. First of all, that was not an adaptation of the animated movie. That was like its own story. And I didn't hate that movie. I actually thought it was okay. It was like, oh, all right.
Well, this one was better.
Fair. Yeah. Fine. I saw Jungle Book and I thought it was okay.
Yeah, okay, I guess it's better than Jungle Book.
Oh, okay. You saw Jungle Book?
Yeah, I saw Jungle Book.
You did? Okay.
There's
Anyway,
only one cybernetic. Wow, only one cartoon. What the hell is the word? CGI animal in this one.
Gotcha. Okay. So, anything else you want to say about it, or can I do my humble opinion?
Nope, go for it.
Okay. So, it's been a little while. I was gonna review it last week, but I really want to talk about Kong Skull Island. So I don't remember all of the very specific details, but I read a little book called Star Wars. Oh God, I'm trying to remember the name of it now. Oh God, the Heir to the Jedi. That's it. Okay, sorry. Star Wars Heir to the Jedi. And in my humble opinion, it is the worst Star Wars book I've read thus far.
Awesome.
Yeah. Very, very, okay, interesting experience. So this whole book is about Luke Skywalker, set in indeterminate amount of time after A New Hope, before Empire Strikes Back. And you might not know this, Steve, but that is the era that Disney seems to have a serious hard-on for. Because I swear to God, like half of the comics and half of the fucking graphic novel or comics and novels are set in the same time period. It's all centered around A New Hope all the time. Every one is either set right after A New Hope or sometimes set right before A New Hope. Like it's just everything is just everything with Disney and the new canon is obsessed with A New Hope.
Well, that's because it's got the best crew of characters and it's the most important one. I mean, so they have to ring it up for all of its nostalgia pennies.
I mean, it is the most important one in many ways. But after a while, it's just like I would love it if you guys started exploring some other eras. But this is one of the first Star Wars novels. I think this might be no, it's not the first one. It's like the second one. That is in the new canon. It's just that it's only now that I'm finally getting around to reading it. So I'm kind of late to this party but I didn't like it very much. The whole point of this book is it's about Luke, and it's about basically explaining why he was able to reach out with the Force in Empire Strikes Back to retrieve his lightsaber from okay, you remember how in Empire Strikes Back,
upside down
at the beginning, he's upside down, he's being attacked by the Wampa, and he has to retrieve his lightsaber. I don't know if you remember this, but he was never trained in that in any way in A New Hope. Like, that was never something that Obi-Wan told him about or taught him how to do in any way. So there's really no reason Luke should be able to do that, if you think about it. Well, this book seeks to explain that a little bit. And it does so in just about the worst possible way it possibly could.
Okay. Do tell.
The plot of this book is such a boring, like uninteresting piece of trash. Like, okay, you'd think.
Is it like Jedi school? Like, and if you look to this diagram, you'll see the Force.
That's the thing, is if the book was actually focusing on Luke learning how to, move things with his mind, I would like it because that's the reason the book exists. But no. The plot of this book revolves around Luke going on a series of adventure. Well, it's one big adventure, but there's a lot of like detours along the way. With this black girl that he falls in love with, who, spoiler alert, dies at the end.
Of course she does.
Of course she does. Yeah.
Gotta nip that one in the bud.
Yeah, exactly. So she falls in love with this black girl. They don't bang, but like they kiss like twice. And
so what? He kissed his sister. Big deal.
Yeah, well, and then she dies, and the whole thing that they're doing the whole time is rescuing a mathematician. They are rescuing a mathematician who was like captured by the Empire because she's really good at like deciphering at math and deciphering codes and shit. And that's the whole plot.
What is this, a children's cartoon? Is this an episode of Paw Patrol?
It's fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. They're trying to rescue...
Evil Lord Vader has kidnapped our math teacher. Oh no, now the children won't be able to learn their algebra.
It's not quite that bad, but it is dumb. And do you want to know what the epic thing that Luke does? Like the first thing. Like, do you want to know what the very first thing that Luke lifted with the Force?
Was it a sandwich?
Oh, you're so close. It was a noodle.
Like a singular noodle?
A singular noodle. And he didn't even lift it the first time. He just set it on a table and he moved it a few inches.
Wow.
That was the big epic thing.
That was our introduction to the Force. That was the first thing our great hero did with this Force magic.
Yeah.
He moved a noodle.
That's the first thing that...
Are you sure there wasn't just like a stiff breeze?
The hero of the universe using his magic
the
space
chosen
wizard.
One.
The chosen one using his magic space wizard powers for the very first time decides to move a noodle. And that's what he does. And then later...
At least Aragorn threw a fireball the first time.
God. And then, at the end of the book, after What's-Her-Face dies, whose name, Natiri, or some shit like that, I don't fucking know. I don't care, okay? And I'll admit, actually, their romance wasn't too bad. It was kind of cute in a weird way.
Too bad you knew she was destined to die.
I fucking knew. As soon as they, as they started developing feelings for each other, I was just like, oh, so she's dead. I was like, oh, okay.
Funny how we don't hear about her anymore.
Oh my god. But then at the end of the book, after she's dead and after Luke,
stop screaming, listening to
after
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah. He then does something even more dramatic with the Force. He uses the Force to move a fork, and he uses it to lift a noodle into his mouth. He does that with the Force at the very end.
Wow. Remember when Anakin lifted that one pear from his from the bowl to his plate that one time in the second movie?
Remember. Yes, I remember.
That's what this is bringing to mind.
Yeah,
Is that how you use the Force, the ultimate power in the universe that ties and penetrates and binds things?
Now,
to pick up noodles.
Okay, well, the thing with Anakin, it actually made sense with Anakin, where he was just trying to show off to Padme. He was just
of course.
Hey, look what penis,
I can. But Luke, on Dagobah, when he was training with Yoda, he was actually doing, I was going to say practical things. Doing handstands and lifting rocks is not a practical thing. But you could see the benefit of that training.
Yeah, it's not like
why couldn't we have started with rocks?
Yeah, Yoda's lift this giant rock. It's okay, I could see how that might be useful. Yoda's not hey, lift this noodle and bring it to my mouth. I'm kind of hungry. What the fuck? Oh my god.
I mean, and apparently, according to Yoda, size doesn't matter with the Force. So, why did he have to start with the noodle?
I don't fucking know, dude. Oh, but there are some things that this book does that I kind of liked. As much as I hate the way they went about it, I am glad that it answered the question as to why Luke is able to use the Force in Empire Strikes Back. At least it makes sense. It's not it's just he just suddenly comes across it. He hears about Jedi being able to use the Force. He investigates it in this. I don't want to give all the details because it would take too long. But he investigates it. He discovers that it's true, and then he practices it, and then it works. I like that as an idea.
As a concept, that would make an excellent origin of the Force story of how he becomes to term with his training and whatever. But it's very underwhelming.
It is.
I would have much preferred, I think you can agree, a situation of like greater importance where he just kind of does it and then has to figure out how he did it again.
Yes.
You know?
I completely
Full Metal
agree.
Alchemist style.
Yes, that would have been great. Okay, and the other thing that this book does that I actually did really like was at the very end, well, not quite the very end, near the very end, when the girl dies, at the time, Luke was stretching out with the Force, and he sensed her life go out, like he sensed her die.
Uh-huh.
And it was at that point that he was so upset by this, and he had all this anger that he accidentally tapped into the dark side. And the way that it's described is actually very interesting. He describes it almost as like he has all of this raw power flowing through him, and he feels like he's invincible, and he feels strong and powerful, and like he could do anything, and like all he wants to do is just fucking kill the guy who killed her. And Luke's first reaction is, whoa, what the hell is going on right now? And I really liked that. I thought that was an interesting way to go about it, where like he's only heard of the dark side once or twice from Obi-Wan, and he has no idea what it is. But then he accidentally taps into it, and his initial reaction is one of like immediately like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, like this is
actually,
not right.
I actually really enjoy that as an idea too, because it's like he knows that it's a different thing. And
exactly.
He experiences it, but he doesn't like use it. He understands it's an entirely different thing he's not supposed to be feeling.
Exactly.
And he understands it's a different kind of force, no pun intended.
Yeah, no, and I really liked that. I thought that was an interesting idea, and they did it pretty well. That didn't justify having to read 300 pages just to get to that one thing, but I did appreciate it when I got there. And I'm trying to think of anything else I really liked about this. Oh, there's something else I really hated. Luke Luke doesn't feel like Luke. Like, he doesn't act like Luke. He kind of acts like him, but he doesn't talk like Luke. This book has this weird way of describing things in this really, really formal way. Like I had a bunch of things planned out, like last week I was gonna use as examples, but I kind of only vaguely remember them now. Like he describes this ship as being like a half crescent shape or something like that. But then later, it's like the author realized that it's like, oh wait, this is Luke, and Luke doesn't, understand these, high concept things. He describes this one ship as looking like a piece of toast. So it's this weird, it's a very odd thing where it's like the author is well educated and has a lot of
the author's struggling to turn off that part of the brain that makes you use flowery language.
The author, exactly. The author is well educated and likes to use flowery language, and he keeps doing it, but then there are some points where it's like he's trying really hard and it's really obvious.
It's like, how do I dumb Luke down?
Yeah, exactly.
That looks like a piece of toast.
Yeah, it sounds weird, and there's never a point in the book where he really felt like Luke. It felt like a guy writing for what he thinks Luke should be, if you know what I mean. But
I get you.
It's like this guy writing what he thinks Luke should do, but it doesn't feel like Luke. It just feels like some guy's interpretation of Luke.
Yeah,
and
it's like somebody telling you a story about somebody and then filling in the gaps in the story with their own interpretation of it.
Yeah, it is kind of like that, and I didn't like that. It was kind of annoying. So yeah, I would give this book a 5 out of 10. I thought about going lower, but to me, 5 out of 10 is average, and that's what this book was to me. It didn't insult me. It just was extremely underwhelming, and like it answered one basic question, which was, how can Luke use the Force? And it gave me a couple of nice things. Well, basically one nice thing, which is his tapping into the dark side for the first time, which was interesting. Mm-hmm. Other than that, the rest of the story wasn't awful. I mean, it was readable. It's and it was engaged. It was well paced. Like it wasn't boring. It was just
actually to go back really quick. That dark side note where he taps into it for the first time there on accident is actually has interesting ramifications through the actual stories if you go through them with that in the back of your mind, that he has experienced that firsthand. So when the Emperor or Vader tries to tempt him with it, he knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, actually, that's a good way of thinking about it. Where that's true. Thank you, Steve. You're right. Yeah, when they talk about the dark side, yeah, he knows what they're talking about, and he's just like, no, I don't like that. Like, that's wrong. That's like, because he knows what the force is supposed to be, like the light side. He knows what that feels like, and then when they talk about the dark side, he knows what that is, and he knows it's wrong. It's cool.
Awesome.
Anyway, so that's about it. In my humble opinion, it was a very, very average, dull book that basically answered the question it should have answered in just about the least interesting way it possibly could.
300 pages to get to one bit about lifting a lightsaber out of the snow.
Yeah. Basically.
Or to justify that. I mean.
To justify. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so we are going to move on to WhoDaWin. I'm excited. I'm going to pick oh no, fuck that shit. I'm going to pick Venom.
Okay. Hope I don't get Venom too, because I know Venom's in here.
Oh really? Shit.
Yeah. That would be something. I would switch mine to anti-Venom then. All right. I got the Riddler.
Oh, okay. That's
What'd you say?
I said Venom. Or what do you mean?
Yeah, I know, but I interrupted you when I said the Riddler. You had a thought forming there.
Oh, not really. I was just
okay. All right. Whoops. Okay. Oh, that's a bummer. Most likely to be a deadbeat dad.
A Venom. I think Venom would.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think the Riddler's good dad material either.
Well, that's true, but I also feel like the Riddler isn't really dad material. Like, I can't imagine him.
But Venom is
being with.
For the record, Eddie Brock has children.
Exactly. No, but that's what I'm saying. Is Eddie Brock has children because he's Eddie Brock.
I'm with you now.
Isn't a complete douchebag. Like he can at least seduce a woman. I can't imagine Riddler doing that.
I think those two things are mutually exclusive, Adam. But I see your point.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like Riddler is such a piece of shit that I feel like any woman would just be like, yeah, you can leave now. I don't feel like it would ever get to that point. I can't imagine.
I think we're supposed to assume, for the sake of the challenge, that they have them already.
Okay, well,
because
that's
I think
true.
In that case, Riddler is only concerned with riddles and being better than Batman. And I'm pretty sure if you were the Riddler's children, you would have starved to death in your crib.
Yeah.
Because you were not a Riddler.
Then again, Riddler might be theoretically might be obsessed with his kid and be like, oh, he's going to be my protege, and I'm going to bring him in, and he's going to bask in my brilliance. You know what I mean? Like, he's such an egomaniac that I could see him thinking, oh, I need to educate my child. And I mean, I'm not saying he'd be a good dad, but he wouldn't be a deadbeat dad.
All right. Fair.
Whereas Eddie Brock is off, is busy being fucking Venom and murdering people and shit. So I feel like he'd be more deadbeat than Riddler. So cool.
So Venom.
All right. All right. So next up, I'm going to pick. I guess I'll go with Aquaman. Yeah, I'll go with Aquaman. That would be the new, live action version of Aquaman. So he looks like he could murder you. All
with his
the time.
growl.
with only one peck.
Okay. So... I got Mr. Data.
Oh, okay.
And the challenge is World Whack-A-Mole Champion. Oh, dude. Mr. Data with his robot precision. No contest.
True.
No contest.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Aquaman would be bad at it, but
no, but he wouldn't be exceptionally better than anybody else would be.
Yeah, but Data would be way better. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
For sure. Well, that was easy.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta pick one more. I don't know. What should I pick? I want to do like an alien, but I feel like that's like really overpowered.
You don't want to do a xenomorph? Because I don't know if xenomorphs are that overpowered. They would have lost to Whack-A-Mole.
That's true. All right, fine. I'll do a xenomorph.
Okay, I got Godzilla.
Godzilla?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Sweet. Awesome.
For the sake of everybody's understanding, I guess I'll just use the one from the movie, the most recent one.
Okay. So the 350-foot gargantuan motherfucker. Yeah.
He also would win at Whack-A-Mole.
The one who you only see for 10 minutes?
Exactly. Who did you have again? The Xenomorph?
Yeah, the
Are you
xenomorph.
sticking
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll stick with
Well, the contest is drinking. Uh,
that.
I suppose it depends how
Shit.
you look at it, because I can technically drink more than you
Yeah.
by orders of magnitudes, but I don't know if either of these folks had that much interest in drinking.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you forced
Physically, I could drink more than
yeah,
you.
physically, you're so much larger that of course you can drink more than I can. I mean, okay, and then I guess I'm trying to think of like who could hold their liquor better, but the answer is neither, really. Like,
Well,
there,
again, it goes down to Godzilla because his BMI is 10,000 times yours.
yeah, I
Because
guess that's
aliens are
true.
really thin and they weigh probably about 60 or 70 pounds.
I think a little bit more than that. I mean, they're pretty big,
Okay, but they don't weigh as much as Godzilla weighs.
and
Any
they're like,
interpretation of
and
Godzilla would be able to win.
they've got like armor and shit, but that's not important. But
No, it's
yeah,
really not.
no, you're right. Godzilla wins.
I
You
can't think of
win.
any way you could slice this where Godzilla would not win.
Yeah, he has to. He just has to. He's just so large that he just automatically wins. Because, yeah, you're right. You win.
Okay. All right. Good.
Congratulations.
Okay, you know what? No. Unless the contest requires you to actually drink things in a bar out of a glass, in which case the xenomorph will win by virtue of it having
It doesn't
opposable
say,
thumbs.
but the challenge doesn't say drinking in a bar. It just
No, it
says
doesn't.
drinking.
But I was just trying to give you a fighting chance.
Nah, I lose, man. It's okay.
Okay.
I won like the past 2 weeks, so I'll be
You
fine.
did win most of them. It's
all
usually
right.
exciting though. Usually a 2-1, so you know,
Yeah,
got a
that's good.
shutout usually.
Okay, so that will be it for this week. Oh, and very soon, as soon as I finish it, we will be reviewing Iron Fist.
Yeah, so be on the lookout
I'm
for
very
that.
close. I'm very close. It should be up probably only a day or two after this episode goes up. So, yes.
Get ready.
I'm looking forward to reviewing it. So, all right. All right, so that'll be it for this week. May your princess always be in the right castle. May the force be with you. See you, Space Cowboys.